But actually now, Jake Paul has got to think about what he's doing next. If you're that good and you think you're clever, why don't you fight Usyk? Alexander Usyk, he'll fight you. Let's see how that works out for you. You get flattened. Game over.
The number 14 cruiserweight in the world, according to the WBA. This is an absolute mockery. It's an absolute disgrace. It's a total piss take.
To fight voluntarily to defend their championship against Jake Paul. Which, if I'm being honest, that's kind of crazy, bro. Isn't that crazy? Right? You're telling me you fought somebody that's not a natural cruiserweight, right?
Boxing experts and longtime fans are fuming after the WBA's shocking move to rank Jake Paul among the top 15 cruiserweights. This decision feels like a massive insult to seasoned fighters who've dedicated their lives to boxing. Jake Paul hasn't faced anyone credible, just retired athletes or obscure names offering no serious test. The WBA's move has triggered boycott talk, with industry voices demanding justice and fairness in rankings. Many say fame without true skill is hurting the sport's image and disrespecting real contenders.
So I've just found out that Jake Paul, the YouTuber, influencer, who has been doing a bit of boxing against people who aren't boxers, aside from Tommy Fury, who is a complete novice boxer, and an old retired champion in Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who has been through rehab and all kinds of stuff, has been out of the ring for quite a while, an OAP Mike Tyson, who physically is in a terrible place, and two now inactive cruiserweights called Andre August and Ryan Borland, who I have absolutely no idea who they are. I've just found out that that's what qualifies you as the number 14 cruiserweight in the world, according to the WBA. This is an absolute mockery. It's an absolute disgrace. It's a total piss take. I've been in the middle of making another video about Hamza Shiraz and Edgar Berlanga, and I've had to just stop what I'm doing and make a reaction to this. And I'm just going to go in raw here because I'm absolutely furious. I'm absolutely furious. Like, this is the sort of shit that we have to deal with as boxing fans. Everybody in this sport, and I call it a sport because that's exactly what it is, tries to treat it like it's just a business, like it's just a way of lining their back pockets. You cannot tell me in any world that Jake Paul has done enough to be ranked as the number 14 cruiserweight in the entire world. And I want to be really clear from the off, this isn't actually an attack on Jake Paul's boxing ability, because that's not what this is about. It's about what have you done to show me you're the 14th best cruiserweight in the world. Because for all I know, you might put him in there and he might do really bloody well, but that's not the point. You have to earn that position. How can you have earned that position? By fighting a bunch of influencers, athletes from other sports, and having lost to one of the only active boxers that you've actually faced in Tommy Fury, who very much is a part-time boxer at this point in his life. And then your most recent and highest profile win being against a guy who didn't throw a bloody punch for the first half of the fight.
Fans of boxing are furious after Happy Punch broke the news. Jake Paul has now been ranked number 14 cruiserweight in the WBA and can challenge Zordo Ramirez for the belt. Many argue Jake hasn't earned this position, having never taken on a legit top opponent. Most of his fights involved retired or obscure boxers, sparking harsh criticism of WBA's move. Putting Jake in the cruiserweight top 15 shocked fighters and loyal fans. Now, real contenders might have to fight him just to guard their legacy from a YouTuber's rise.
Guy can now win a world title. Jake Paul, after beating Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., has now been moved to number 14 in the WBA official rankings, meaning he can be a voluntary defense for Zurdo Gilberto Ramirez's world title. But this is now where we need to beg the question of what is wrong with these rankings, because there is no world where Jake Paul is the 14th best cruiserweight. What do we do? What's boxing got to do to save this? Is it go to a one belt division like the UFC have, or is it just for the divisions that we've got and the belts that we've got to actually just sort themselves out? Make sure you subscribe for the updates. We'll keep it coming, but this is mental.
The backlash only grew stronger as insiders blasted the WBA for value and profit over principle. Giving Jake Paul such a ranking appears to be more about money than merit. This move may have damaged the WBA's credibility among fighters who climbed the ladder the hard way. Many believe the cruiserweight picture is now clouded by business deals rather than boxing tradition. Champions who bled for their belts now feel like their accomplishments are being watered down by spectacle and revenue first decisions.
After defeating Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., the WBA decided to give Jake Paul a ranking. According to them, he's the 14th best cruiserweight boxer in the world. I know they're trying to push him for a title shot and it's the show business and whatnot, but you're disrespecting all the cruiserweight boxers with this one. And to even be ranked, aren't you supposed to actually defeat someone who's ranked? Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. hasn't been ranked in years.
As a result of that choice, Jake Paul's win over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. gained him unexpected respect in boxing circles. What used to seem like a gimmick is now looking more like a serious push up the rankings. That win opened new opportunities. Champions can no longer ignore him. Jake's ability to shut down critics and make the sport's power players acknowledge him proves how well he flipped the narrative. Still, many argue this fast-tracked rise doesn't reflect the true test most fighters must endure.
So now that Jake Paul won his fight against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., he's apparently ranked top 15 cruiserweights in the world. And apparently, I guess now, world champions are able to fight voluntarily to defend their championship against Jake Paul. Which, if I'm being honest, that's kind of crazy, bro. Isn't that crazy? Right? You're telling me you fought somebody that's not a natural cruiserweight, right? And now you're automatically ranked top 15 and you can fight a couple of world champions and it makes sense. Not that I think he beats any of them. I'm gonna be completely honest. I can't see it, bro. If Jake ends up beating somebody, yo, shout out to him. He finessed his way to the fucking top and a world champion and really like cemented himself into the history books. But the way that he boxes, he's just very sluggish. It's kind of slow. You know, I think any cruiserweight world champion, even Badu Jack, will defeat him. And I actually don't even understand why he even wants to fight Anthony Joshua. Besides the bag, obviously. But what do you guys think, though? This whole shit has gone crazy.
Jake's doubters point out that the win over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. wasn't impressive. Julio, once a top fighter, showed barely any resistance. Throughout the bout, he looked more like a standing target than a live threat. Julio's weak offense made Jake's job too easy, turning what could have been a real challenge into a glorified sparring session. To fans expecting war in the ring, giving Jake credit for such a performance feels empty and undeserved.
He did not throw barely any punches for the first half of the fight.
More than half. First 8 rounds, you might say.
Yeah, and a little life at the end, but too late when he knew the fight was winding down on time. I say this, that it was hard for me to gauge the performance of Jake Paul. It's essentially a sparring session, and I'm trying to see, is he continuing, is he developing, is he getting better? And off of this fight, it was hard to gauge when you're fighting a puncher bag, but then towards the end of the fight, I thought he was exposed. The stamina started to dip, the defense wasn't tight, there was some technical flaws, you could find them, you could hit him. In the end, he gets a decision, he gets another win, he keeps his show moving on. What'd you make of this fight? What'd you think of Jake Paul and his performance overall?
Making no excuses for Jake Paul. Give him credit for what he's done with his career, with his promotion, with his business, with his dream. Give him credit. Give the guy credit. God almighty, he takes risk.
Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. was already known for underwhelming performances. Even in his prime, he often disappointed his supporters and analysts. Add to that his personal demons, including rehab stints, and it's clear he wasn't in peak form. Against Jake Paul, many believe Jake's team handpicked Julio, hoping that beating a faded star would rocket him into the rankings. That sort of matchmaking has added fuel to the argument that Jake is exploiting the system rather than fighting his way through it.
Chavez Jr., one guy performed, one guy did what he was supposed to do, brought the fight in, and one guy just didn't. And if I'm talking about Jake Paul and a former world champion, you'd think that what I'm about to say favors the former world champion. And then you realize I'm talking about Chavez Jr., and then you say, no, well, okay, we have to flip those because Chavez Jr. is known for disappointing on the biggest stage, and that's what happened again here. I cannot tell you how disappointed I am in watching Chavez Jr. over the first 5 rounds throw a total of 36 punches. Now, I didn't say land. That's not what I said. I said throw. Chavez Jr. threw 36 punches over 5 rounds. And out of the 36 he threw, he landed 8. 8 punches through 5 rounds. 15 through 6. 20 through 7. He landed 20 punches through 7 rounds.
Rayo Valanulo's praise of Jake Paul gave the boxer some legitimacy within the sport. As someone who knows the demands of boxing, Rayo's nod suggested Jake's progress isn't entirely fake. His comments showed Jake's improvements haven't gone unnoticed. However, many in the boxing world still doubt that one win against a faded name should warrant a top 15 spot. Some believe Rayo was just being respectful rather than truly endorsing Jake's ranking in such a competitive division.
I missed you. Just I want to get your reaction to the fight.
Oh, great fight. Julio's back after all he's been through. So, I tip my hat off to him. It's not easy, especially through, when life throws at you sometimes. But, it was a good fight.
What'd you make of how Jake Paul looked and fought?
He doing his thing. Jake Paul's looking good. Shout out to him. Yeah.
You think he's ready to fight maybe a top 15, top 20?
Sure, yeah.
So I guess where does Junior go from here in your opinion?
It's up to him. He can retire if he want, or he can have another, fight like this. Fight a YouTuber or something.
Yeah. In terms of you, Rayo, when can we see you back in the ring?
I'll be back in the fall, hopefully.
The fall?
Yeah.
You have an opponent in mind?
Nothing set in stone.
All right. Hey, just want to get your thoughts. The rematch between Lamont and Roach, how do you see it? Tank and Roach.
That's a good fight. 50-50 fight, like the first fight. I'm gonna go, I don't know, whoever.
Finally, Canelo and Crawford. Break it down.
That's a good fight, man. That's a good fight. It's hard to count Crawford out, man, because he's just a dog. And if anybody's gonna do it, it's gonna be Crawford or Benavidez, So, Crawford. I don't know. I'll 50-50.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Jake Paul doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon. His bold call out of Canelo Alvarez for a cruiserweight world title fight shows both confidence and a sharp sense of boxing's business side. Jake believes even Canelo might consider it due to the huge paycheck the fight would bring. While some fans admire Jake's courage, others see it as more proof that his journey is about headlines, not meaningful competition or proving his skill against top-tier athletes.
It's Canelo. I mean, this moment will prove that I'm the face of boxing, the largest attraction. And me versus Canelo at 200 pounds for the cruiserweight championship of the world. It's even bigger than me versus Tyson, and it makes so much sense. Canelo's on his way out. He's going to want a payday, and I want to show the world that all the shit I've been talking about beating Canelo is actually true, and I'll have the biggest upset in the sport of boxing. Show that I have more followers than them, etc. This is going to be the most watched fight of the century, so I'm going to be the new money man.
Doubts aren't limited to Jake's opponents. Many also question how his fights are structured. Critics claim these bouts are designed to ensure Jake wins, with opponents more focused on paychecks than performance. That image damages Jake's reputation and causes fans to doubt the reality of his success. When it feels like spectacle matters more than merit, people lose faith in rankings. For boxing's sake, transparency and legitimacy are needed now more than ever before.
As you are watching this video, Jake Paul and Julio Cesar Chavez are currently right now in the 7th round of their fight. But when you go to Google and Google the fight, it gives an accurate breakdown of all their past fights. And then it comes to the current fight and it says that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. loses a unanimous decision to Jake Paul in 2025. The fight has not even played out yet. Yet they're saying that this is the end results as they are fighting right now, currently as it stands. This leans testament to the fact that people state that Jake Paul has his fights fixed. What's your thoughts on this? This is nasty work. Unbelievable. This is Google. Google it yourself. Peace.
Jake Paul's knack for generating huge paydays has made him a magnet for fighters chasing big checks. Boxers from all levels now see fighting Jake as a shot at financial freedom. The focus has shifted from competition to commerce as fighters appear willing to meet Jake's terms just to cash in. This shift threatens boxing's essence, honor, effort, and legacy, replacing it with cold deals and negotiations. Many worry that boxing is becoming a marketplace instead of a proving ground.
I just saw KSI saying that he's gonna fight Jake Paul in 6 months. What the fuck is this? Another celebrity bullshit scam? Nah, none of that fucking bullshit. Jake Paul, I will fight you. I'm a fucking nobody. I'm no washed up legend, no fucking celebrity. I'm nothing, I'm nobody. But I will fight you. Give me 6 months. I will be the one to step in that ring with you. And I'll fight you for real. All smoke, all heart, all grit. That's what it really takes. That's what boxing fans fucking deserve. Yo, everybody, if you're watching this, add Jake Paul, tag him, do whatever it takes. Let's make this happen. It won't be KSI, another fucking celebrity, another fucking bullshit, fucking wasted boxing scam. It will be me, someone with no background, no experience, no nothing. I come from nothing, and I'll fight him. I'll give everybody the fight they deserve. We wanted to see Iron Mike knock him down on his ass. You know what? I'm here to finish the job. Let's make this fucking happen.
An outrage after Jake Paul's new ranking has been both loud and widespread from many loyal viewers. Jake's leap to cruiserweight status following a weak win feels like an insult. It makes the sport seem fake. Years of blood, sweat, and sacrifice from real boxers feel like they've been ignored just to give the spotlight to someone famous. To them, this decision doesn't just hurt boxing, it makes a joke out of what fighters have spent their lives working for.
So after Jake Paul's win against Chavez Jr., he's officially ranked number 9 in America for the cruiserweight division and number 70 in the world, which this is ridiculous. Chavez Jr. was retired. How can beating him mean that you're top 10 in the cruiserweight division when there's actual fighters and prospects that's been working their way up? This is crazy. He's fought at heavyweight, he fought asterisk at whatever weight, but he's only fought 2 real boxers, Tommy Fury and now Chavez Jr. And an 80-year-old Mike Tyson. There's no way he should be ranked in the top 10. They're already calling for a fight with him and Zurdo Ramirez, which is ridiculous. I feel Jake Paul loses to any young prospect in boxing right now. Any one of them takes him out. Seems like the sanctioning bodies are just trying to cash out real quick before this little era is over. It's bringing a lot of, popularity and notoriety to boxing. A lot of new casual fans are coming to the sport, so I guess it's good putting boxing back on the big stage. But this is cancerous for the sport itself. Aside from all the glamour and viewership, this is cancerous to the sport. We see how they just sell out for the money.
Boxing loyalists were especially bothered by Julio's performance late in the fight with Jake Paul. Instead of delivering a serious comeback, Julio's last punches looked lazy, like he only wanted to avoid embarrassment. Jake's whole journey in the sport has been haunted by accusations of prearranged outcomes. His fights are usually against aging, out-of-prime fighters, resulting in victories that feel empty. The same thing happened against Julio, adding to the belief that Jake isn't truly proving himself.
Welcome back to the Pain Game. Today we're going to talk Darren Till versus Tommy Fury / John Fury, of course. But first, some more important and quite serious news in the combat sports world. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, it's come out now. It was rigged. I can't believe it. You have to question the validity of boxing these days when you can't trust 2 professionals to get in the ring and do their best against each other. And instead you find out Mike Tyson pulling his punches, not trying to hurt Jake Paul. Absolute disgrace. I thought better of them. I really did. I thought that Mike Tyson, especially Iron Mike, he was just going to go in there and knock Jake clean out. But here he is, not trying. I'm so disappointed in him.
Carl Froch voiced what many boxing legends think about Jake Paul's fast rise. The ex-champ held nothing back, saying if Jake is serious, he should fight someone like Alexander Usyk. Froch even mocked Jake as a clown fighter, echoing the wider boxing community's opinion. He questioned Jake's supposed knockout power, arguing it's overhyped considering the weak opposition. Until Jake proves himself against top fighters, many will continue to view him as more show than substance.
He's useless. Who said Jake Paul's got power? It's like he's hitting him with a feather duster, just flicking it in his face. It does make you question them wins he's had, where he's hit him with one shot and they fell on the floor like they've been tasered. Can you imagine that being my dream fight and my biggest payday? Fighting a clown. Jake Paul don't know what to do with himself when he's under pressure. He's on his back foot looking at the floor, probably closing his eyes. It's fair to say he's absolutely useless, isn't it? Jake Paul. He can't fight, can he? I reckon looking at that, how many rounds do you think I need to beat Jake Paul? Seriously, 2 rounds or a round? 1 round? Is that the end of Jake Paul now or what? He's absolutely useless.